friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today I have for you a book haul and a giveaway, which is very exciting. I have about 21 books, I have 21 books to share with you today. It's only the middle of March, but there are some library sales coming up towards the end of the month, beginning of April, and I didn't want to combine those hauls along with this one since I already do have 21 books. But I did want to start with the giveaway because some of you may just be here for the giveaway. Because of Middle Grade March, Little Bee Books reached out to me about some of their middle grade books that are very new releases that they wondered if I would be interested in receiving and reading and also offering 2 of them to you. And I said, of course. I love doing giveaways and I love free books. Win-win for me. I already did read one of them, A Storm of Strawberries by Joe Cotterill. This one is a diverse book, and the main character, the main perspective that we get from this book is a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome, and she has a very loving and quirky attitude. She lives on a strawberry farm with her family, and there are storms. It all takes place over the course of one weekend, but there are also some storms within the family as well. So we learn about all of that through the perspective of this 12-year-old girl. I forget her name. Darby. This was very sweet, very lovely. This is one of the books that you could win. The second book in the giveaway is The Colors of the Rain by R.L. Tolson. This is another book that talks about diversity, but this one is special because it is written in verse. I have not read this one yet. It is coming. I am planning on reading it this month. I don't know very much about this book, but it does take place in the early 1970s in Houston, Texas, I believe, where desegregation of schools is one of the main issues in Houston at the time. And that we follow the perspective of 10-year-old Polly, who's really frustrated. He shares the same name as his dad, and his dad recently, or at some point, killed someone and was in a big car accident or crashed a car or something along those lines because he was defending a black man. And then Polly also has some issues learning about race in school, and as this desegregation is all happening, he starts picking fights with a little kid at school, one of his classmates. Just a lot of race relations is the big theme of this one, and I think that it's going to be spectacular. I've really been loving books in verse this March so far, so I think this one sounds really good. So the giveaway, both of these books are available to win. You could win one of these books. So if you are interested and you live in the United States and you're interested in receiving one of these books, in the comments down below, just write strawberries or rain for which one you prefer. I will be doing 2 separate drawings. If you're interested in both, write both and I'll put your name in both. You can't win both, but if you're interested in winning both, put both. Write strawberries or rain in your comment down below. Today is the 14th. I will be doing the drawing for one of these books on 1 week from today. So next Thursday, I'll be doing the drawing. So you have 1 week to enter. Good luck. I'm very excited about being able to give those away to you. Little Bee Books also sent me a 3rd book, and that is The Year I Didn't Eat by Samuel Pollan. This is more of a YA about a young teenage boy who has an eating disorder, which I'm just so excited to read from that perspective. When I was in high school, and I'm sure still today, eating disorders were a huge issue, but mainly with the girls. I don't know that I've ever read a book with a boy who had an eating disorder. So I'm really excited to read this one as well. Thank you so much, Little Bee Books, for sending those my way. The next book I actually received in February. I participated in a Galentine's Day book exchange through Bookstagram, and the person who had my name sent me some little treats as well as a book. But they sent me this bookmark which says, My workout is reading in bed until my arms hurt. Very cute. Love that. Some lovely little tiny notebooks, which are handy to keep in my bag. And also the Book of Unknown Americans by Cristina Henriquez. This is a novel about Mexican immigrants who come to America because their 15-year-old daughter has a tragic injury, a major injury, and the parents feel like her best hopes for recovery is to go north and come to America. In their new neighborhood, a boy that is in the new neighborhood falls in love with this girl. So it's a bit of a young romance, but also a story about what it means to be American. Sounds really interesting. I'm so excited that that was sent to me. Atria Books just recently sent me some books. I reached out and asked about one of them, and they sent me some, which I'm so thrilled about. The one that I asked for and requested, which I'm just so excited about this. Frederick Brockman wrote a nonfiction, and it's called Things My Son Needs to Know About the World. I am absolutely so excited to read this. This comes out in May, so hopefully in April I will get to this one. I think Frederick Brockman is a fantastic writer, and one of the things I love about his books is that he always puts in these truths or these points to ponder in the midst of the story that he's telling. And I really love his worldview, and I'm really excited to read about his thoughts on fatherhood. I think that this is going to be really good. Along with that one, they sent me a World War II historical fiction called The Daughter's Tale by Armando Lucas Correa. This one comes out in May as well, on the 7th. Armando Lucas Correa also wrote The German Girl, which is a book that I hauled just a couple months ago but haven't yet read. In this story, we follow Judith, who was a very young girl, almost a baby maybe, just 14 months old at the start of the war. Her parents got onto the ship, the St. Louis, which went to Cuba during World War II but was turned away. So she ends up in France, where a family kind of takes them in, but then German soldiers come and they end up in Auschwitz. So it's just the story. We follow Judith throughout the war and where she goes. It sounds exactly like the kind of book that I'm going to love, and I really hope that I love this one as well. I will also add this to my April TBR. My April TBR is already getting big. And then I'm very excited for this last book that Atria sent me. The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. She is one of my favorite authors. I have collected all of her work so far. I don't know very much about the story of this one. I do know that it has a gorgeous cover, and I just opened it up and the end papers are a map, which is so much fun. If it's anything like Kate Morton's other books, there will be multiple perspectives, at least 2 perspectives, and also dual timelines, often looking back in history. I just read the last paragraph of the description, and it says, intricately layered and told by multiple voices over time, this is a kaleidoscopic story of murder, mystery, thievery, of art, love, and loss. And flowing through its pages like a river is the voice of a woman who stands outside time, whose name has been forgotten by history, but who has watched it all unfold. Bertie Bell, the Clockmaker's Daughter. Yay! This sounds really fantastic. And this is one that was recommended to me at the beginning of the year, so now I can add that to my TBR cart. I did win another giveaway on Instagram. Instagram giveaways have been very kind to me so far this year. This is from Pages Ago Book Club again, as well as Harper Perennial, and that is In Another Time by Jillian Cantor. This is another World War II historical fiction. We have alternating viewpoints between a husband and wife. Takes place in Germany in the 1930s and also Germany in 1946. Oh, and there's music. It says, In Another Time is a beautiful novel about love and survival, passion and music across time and continents. You had me at World War II. I'm excited about that one. And then I think I mentioned before that I had won a giveaway on Instagram that was for an Amazon gift card, and I used that gift card to get 2 middle grade books. I was very excited to pick up Pages & Co. by Anna James. This is a story about a story within a story. So this is a young girl whose father or grandfather owns a bookshop. Beautiful end papers. I think there's, oh, I also wanted to show you that this just has a gorgeous naked hardback as well. Really, really pretty. So this young girl, Tilly, is able to, she's working in a bookshop or helping out at her grandfather's bookshop or hanging out there, and book characters come to life. And what sold me is that Anne of Green Gables is one of the characters that she gets to meet. I believe also the little girl from A Little Princess and Alice from Alice in Wonderland. This is exactly the type of story that I love, and I just feel like it's going to be so much fun. And I'm thrilled that I now own it. The other book that I picked up with that Amazon gift card is Jane of Lantern Hill by L.M. Montgomery. I love these editions by Virago Modern Classics. L.M. Montgomery is an author that I just want to own all of her books. I really have only read the Anne series and The Blue Castle, which I believe is her only adult book. So I'm really excited to dive into more. I'm currently reading The Story Girl by her, and now I have Jane of Lantern Hill as well. very exciting. I also had a gift card for Barnes & Noble that I received for Christmas, and with that I went to Barnes & Noble during their book haul sale that they had, but I didn't find any for half off that I wanted. But I did go to the table that was buy two get one free, and so I got 3 books from that table, and all 3 are historical fiction. The first one is I Was Anastasia by Ariel Lahan. Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library has spoken very highly of this book. I think it was one of her favorites from last year, so I'm very excited to read this one. This is a Russian historical fiction. This follows the story of Anna Anderson in 1920, who is potentially one of the Romanovs who survived when the whole family was killed by a firing squad. We don't know. I don't know. I have to read the book to find out. But I don't have very many Russian-inspired historical fiction, so I'm really looking forward to that one. The other 2 that I picked up are both World War II historical fiction. The Tilbury Ladies Choir by Jennifer Ryan. I love books that have music, and World War II together is like perfection for me. Definitely buzzwords. This one involves a group of women from the town of Tilbury. At the very beginning of World War II, all the men have gone to war, and the vicar encourages them to kind of stop the choir, but they band together and decide to keep going, and they end up traveling around from village to village singing, and that just sounds really lovely. I'm very excited to read that one. I haven't heard very much about that one. Well, the third one that I picked up from Barnes & Noble is Love and Ruin by Paula McLean. I hadn't seen this copy of it before. I feel like there was a different cover at one point. This takes place in 1937, also focuses on the Spanish Civil War. So Martha travels to Madrid to report, she's a journalist, to report on the Spanish Civil War. She gets just drawn into the stories of ordinary people that are caught in the midst of that conflict and ends up falling in love with Ernest Hemingway. So that sounds really interesting, and we'll see what I think about that. I did find a couple from library book sales this month. The first of those is Lisa Scottoline. I've heard this said different ways, but After Anna. This I'm supposed to be reading in March for my In Real Life book club. I'm not sure that I'm going to get to it. It's pretty big, but I feel like it's going to go pretty quick. It's a mystery. I don't really know anything about it, but Lisa Scottoline is coming to a library program near me, and that's why we chose this book. So those of our group who are able to go hear her speak can do that. I'm not sure I'm going to get to it in March, but I have it just in case. And I found it for super cheap at a library book sale. Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. This is going to be a movie very soon, and I did not own it. I feel like I have already read it early booktube days. I don't really remember very much about it, except that it's about a teenage girl who really, really, really wants to go to Antarctica, and a mother who has agoraphobia and potentially other mental illness as well. And one day the mother disappears. We don't know where she went. We don't know why. I should, because I've read it before, but I don't remember. The third book that I found at library book sales is by Pam Munoz Ryan, and that's Esperanza Rising. I got this for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a Newbery Medal winner, and I'm trying eventually to read all of them. I'm not going to buy all of them, but I would definitely wanted to buy this one because last year I read Echo by Pam Munoz Ryan, and it was one of my favorites of the year, of Middle Grade March last year. So definitely interested in reading more from this author. And this is a middle grade book as well. I have just 5 more, and these I purchased when I took a bunch of books to my secondhand bookstore and used credit for them. So I did not spend any money on these ones, just the credits that I got. And 4 of them are middle grade. Yay for Middle Grade March and book hauling middle grade books. The first one though is not middle grade. It was only $1 on the clearance shelf, and it's The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. I have heard off and on people talk about this author. I don't have anything by Jhumpa Lahiri, and this is one that won the Pulitzer Prize. So I am very interested in reading this. It takes place in India, in Calcutta, India. Oh no, it takes place in America, about a family who's from Calcutta. This family has a son, they name him Gogol, and that betrays the conflicts of honoring tradition in a new world. Conflicts that will haunt Gogol on his own winding path through divided loyalties, comic detours, and wrenching love affairs. So I believe this is kind of a family drama about a family from India who moves to the United States, and that conflict between native culture and traditions, and also trying to fit in and be a part of your new country as well. So sounds really good. I feel like it won a Pulitzer Prize. It should be really good, right? This book I did read already, Inside Out and Back Again by Tanha Lai. I read this last year for middle grade March. It's another book that's written in verse. I had borrowed it from the library and absolutely loved it, so it's one that I'm thrilled to now own. Oh, this one, it's about a Vietnamese family. We follow this family from Vietnam in the midst of the war, or just before the war. They flee from Vietnam and move to America. So we follow the young girl in the family as she tries to adjust to leaving her country and everything that she knows, moving to the United States, going to school without knowing any English, and all of that process, her thought process behind that. And it is based on the author's story, loosely based on her reality as well. So I love that that is an Own Voices book. I picked up another Newbery Medal winner, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. I have heard that this one is really, really good. A lot of people have really loved it, and somehow I've never read it. This one won the Newbery Medal in 1977, and we follow Cassie and her brothers. Cassie is bullied at school for being Black, and how they band together and find their strength to deal with that kind of ignorance and pain that comes from that. I'm just really excited to read this one. I picked up one that I had never heard of before, but the cover is just so fun. It's called Nooks and Crannies by Jessica Lawson. It's a mystery, a middle grade mystery. I am really excited. I probably won't get to this one this year. I'll probably save it for next year, but it just looks like a lot of fun. Tabitha Crumb is a girl with a big imagination and a love for mystery novels. And a mysterious invitation shows up to the estate of the wealthy but reclusive Countess of Windermere, whose mansion is rumored to be haunted. There she finds herself among 5 other children, none of them sure why they've been summoned. But soon a very big secret will be revealed, a secret that will change their lives forever and put Tabitha's investigative skills to the test. Sounds like fun. And finally, I have another of the, I need to get my act together because this is not the same edition that I've been starting to collect. I now have 3 different editions, good grief, or 4 of Ellen Montgomery's books. But I couldn't resist this one because it was only like $3, but I used credit to get it, and it's Emily Climbs. It's not even the first book in the Emily trilogy by Ellen Montgomery, so I'm not going to look and see what it's about, but Emily of New Moon, Emily Climbs, and Emily's Quest, I believe, is a trilogy that Ellen Montgomery has written that I have not read, but I'm excited to own that, and I think it is beautiful. That is it. That is the 21 books that I've hauled. I am not gonna even remotely be able to hold all these up. Let's see what I can do. One more time, here is the pile of books that I'm hauling this month. Get to the bottom. Yes, I did it. It's gonna fall. Just a reminder, in the comments below, I would love to chat about any of those books that you just saw or heard me talk about. Let me know if you've read any of them and you think I should get to them quicker rather than later. And also let me know if you're interested in entering the giveaway for A Storm of Strawberries and Colors of the Rain. I can't wait to give them away to some of you, and I can't wait to read a bunch of these books. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be talking to you in another video very soon. Bye!